She was called the female Amitabh Bachchan of Bollywood, and after a 15-year break, yesteryear actress, superstar Sridevi is coming back to your big screen with English Vinglish. Now, I want to go across straight to her. She's joining us for a very special presentation. Ma'am, it's a pleasure to have you. All of us grew up watching your movies, and it's really a delight having you with us on the show. And the question that I have first, you've been away for so long. And, you've been watching the film industry as it grows, staying away from all the action. Why did you pick this particular movie for your comeback? And how excited or anxious are you to be coming back after a decade and a half?
Well, it wasn't a conscious decision at all. It just happened. I loved the script. I loved Balki's previous films, Spa and Chini Kam. I was very happy to be associated with them, and when I met Gauri, we just instantly clicked. So I was very happy to work with her.
Gauri Shinde, the director of this film, also Balki's wife, is joining us on this special broadcast as well. Welcome, Gauri. And the most important question for you is, how did you manage to get Sridevi back? She's been away from the action for so long. Lots of people have tried to get her in the past. Nobody succeeded. How did you succeed? Others failed.
I have no idea, but I guess I'm really lucky. It just happened like she said. I mean, I ended up meeting her just after I'd written the script, and she showed interest, and I'm like, wow, I mean, this may be a possibility. And she loved the script, and I also loved her, and it happened.
Ma'am, for somebody who's been away for so long, how easy or difficult was your first day back on the sets? You left it at the peak when you ruled Bollywood, and suddenly to come back after 15 years. Did you take to it very easily, or were you very concerned about being able to perform on the first day of the shooting?
Well, thanks to Gauri, she made it very easy for me, and I didn't feel there had been a gap of 15 years. I was just feeling that I was shooting till day before yesterday, and I just took a break and came for shooting because the atmosphere was very good, and the energy level, and of course Balki and Gauri, they're very warm people, and they just really made me comfortable.
What changes did you see between the time when you were acting and now with your comeback, technologically, in terms of scripting, in terms of the way the industry is organized? How much of a change did you feel, and how did it hit you when you came back?
Well, the industry has changed for better, and I get to see different movies, different subjects, and it's really doing very well. And of course, technically, it's unbelievable. And more than anything, of course, promotion of the film. It's never been like that. We used to have few magazines to talk about the film, that's it. Now it's totally different, and I'm getting used to it.
And that's actually a big difference, because earlier, the sort of publicity that we see now, there's this big PR machine, they're chasing you to do interviews. Actors are expected to oblige, unlike earlier when it was almost like a favor that you would do the odd journalist when you would speak to them. Now it's part of what an actor or an actress must do. That must have been a big change for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, Gauri, you've got immense pedigree in the family. When it comes to filmmaking, there are also national awards which Balki has won, and now you've got Sridevi's big comeback venture, and this is essentially your first film. Is that a burden that you carry, the anxiety of having these huge expectations that you now need to deliver on?
No, not at all. I don't think about all that. I just have focused on the film, and to give it my best, and to make a good film, and now hopefully people like it, and yeah, I'm not worried about other pressures.
So let's chat a bit about the film English Vinglish, because whether it's the Toronto Film Festival, whether it is Amitabh Bachchan on his blog, they've all been going on about how great a film it is. So why don't you, Gauri, give our viewers a sense of what to expect? What's what's the idea as a filmmaker that you're trying to convey? This is essentially about a woman who can't speak the language properly, and I'm told you're inspired from your mother's own story.
Yes, that's true. She has been a big inspiration. I mean, it's her story that's where I got the germ of the idea from, and because she struggled with the language herself, and that's what it's been. And I would like that if they actually do, sort of read what Amitabh Bachchan has said, and some other people. I think that would give it a fair idea of what to expect. And I don't want to spoil it too much, but I don't think it'll be a wasted journey to the theatre.
Ma'am, how important has language been, Sridevi, for you? The fact that there are those who speak impeccable English. Do you believe they have a head start? And this is essentially about portraying a woman who struggles with the language in a country far away from her own.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a universal story, and everybody can relate to this character when they see this film with Shashi. And of course, even I could relate to her character because I used to go through this problem in the beginning. I never used to speak proper Hindi and even different languages like Malayalam and Kannada. Had a tough time, but this film is not just about language. It is about feelings. It is about how the other person feel and how you should react to it. It's all about feelings, and of course about the
So how closely does this reflect your own real life struggle with languages? And the fact that you come into Bollywood at a time when you don't speak Hindi really well, was that a complex? Was that always an issue that the reigning star of Bollywood doesn't speak the language well?
Yeah, I just worked hard and I really want to come out of that and like prove a point like, yes, I can speak Hindi and I can manage. So that's what I think Sashi, that's all about the character, how she managed and she does something about it, and there on her journey is quite fascinating.
So is this going to be a one-off, or will we now see Sridevi come back again and again? Because Mr. Bachchan, when he came back, then went on to do several things from TV shows to movies of all sorts. Are you also planning to let this be the first of many on your comeback journey?
Well, I don't plan things. Like this film, I ever thought about it and it just happened. So I'm just waiting for the release and I want to see the audience reaction. And definitely I would love to work again.
Yeah, because, it's one thing to be at the peak of your career. It's another thing to come back. And also the Sridevi we're seeing is very different from the Sridevi people saw earlier. From the Chalbaz, the Himmatwala days. This is a de-glamorized Sridevi. This is not the diva who comes back. So this is a different image of the yesteryear superstar that people will get to see.
Well, I never gave a thought about this because after hearing this, I just started thinking, is that glamorized role? For me, it is a character, it's a subject. How you feel, I never gave importance to the look. Even previous films like Sadma, it is something de-glamorized. I don't call this de-glamorized. It's a natural, my club, she's a simple middle-class housewife and that's it.
Yeah, and I'd like to answer that, Rahul.
Yes, please. Yes, Gauri.
Rahul?
Yeah, of course.
And I think you evolve also. So to be stuck in one era and to be stuck to a certain kind of role model or a certain kind of role, like you said, the glamorized diva would be strange, because and it could be right also, but it hasn't proved to be so with a lot of other people. And I think after 15 years and some maturity in roles, in the roles that are being offered and the characters that are there, I think more justice to the character is important than the star overpowering their glam for the character. And that which I think none other than Sridevi, and I take the risk of saying this, does it well because she gets into the role, and that's what I think films are about your performance and acting skill.
Ma'am, Gauri just spoke about maturity, how characters are evolving, how filmmaking is changing. I'd be very keen on knowing your thoughts on this. Between the time you left and now, what are the real changes that you see? Because someone like an Amitabh Bachchan, you yourself and others are still being offered these roles where the film is about you and all the excitement is about you, which might not have been the case, say 15, 20 years ago when people might not have been interested in having a yesteryear actress back.
It's very difficult to answer this. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Well,
yeah, it may have been difficult then for someone who had retired 15 years ago and to have come back. Yeah, maybe.
There's so many remakes that are happening, Sridevi. Of all the remakes of all the films that you've done, which is the one you'd be most keen on, doing again?
not at all, not any other film, because it's done. Why will I wanted to do the same character and the same film again? I would love to do something different.
Are you also
the last thing I could think about it.
Are you also now, conscious of what your daughters think of their mother? This wouldn't have been a concern earlier, of course, but now are you concerned? Are you getting the right sort of feedback from them, or are they very critical about the way the mother's looking, the way she's acting?
No, it's before it was my parents. When I want to watch a film with them, I definitely would like to, wanted to be, I used to be very conscious when my parents are there. I used to think, I hope they're proud of me, I hope they're not, ashamed or so. It's always been there. It was my parents and now my children and my husband, and this will continue.
Okay, I want this question that I've always had. If you look at the current generation of actors, Sridevi, who's the one who you think is closest to the legacy you left behind? Is there someone who you see the sort of roles she picks, the way she acts, the way she dances, who you say, okay, that's the one I would have liked to be like? That's the one who I think is taking forward what I was doing. Is there any actress, amongst the current crop of heroines who you think, resembles you in the way she acts, the way she dances, or you think, is really taking forward your legacy?
Well, everybody is so good. It's very difficult to name one. Everybody has their own charm, like from Priyanka to Vidya Balan, Sonam, Sonakshi, Katrina, and Deepika. It's amazing. They have their own charm and they're very talented, hardworking, and devoted. And it's superb. It's really difficult to say.
Okay, and Gauri, the interesting thing about the reactions that the film is evoking is that whether it was, the reaction at Toronto or others who've seen the screeners, they seem to be fairly touched by the film. It seems to be touching an emotive chord, and I can see you smile just as well. That's the feeling the movie is evoking.
Well, it's really, I'm glad the reaction is very positive and it really gives us confidence, and it's a great feeling, and especially in Toronto, the reaction we never expected. It was amazing, and we always cherish that moment all my life.
Gauri?
Yeah, Rahul. Yeah, I'm very happy that that's how people are coming out. And the most nervous and anxious time is when the real audience, is coming out of a screening and their response. And I've seen a glimpse of it yesterday in Delhi, and just regular people, and they coming out and their reaction, and that was that kind of whoosh, few. Not bad.
Ma'am, what you need to do now is somehow figure out if we can get you paired with Amitabh Bachchan once more. You know, wouldn't that be a treat for all Bollywood fans to have Sridevi and Amitabh Bachchan? He's already praising you, so he likes what he's seeing on the big screen. Now we have to find a script and a director who brings the two of you together.
Well, I would love to work with him. It's always been an honor to work with him, and I was really looking forward to working with him. And
well, you've made a
really
big
great.
comeback.
Even I'm waiting to.
You're saying you're willing and wanting to do more things. Let's just hope this thing with Amitabh Bachchan really works out. Before I end this interview, we all saw these pictures of you and Madhuri Dixit together on the sets of Jhalak Dikhla Ja, and there was so much which was written and spoken about, your rivalry with her, two divas, dancing queens, and how they were fierce competitors. So how was it being on the same stage and shaking a leg with Madhuri?
Well, it was great, and it's always whenever we meet, and it's been always. She's very warm and very friendly. So I don't know. It's how people write and they, imagine so many things, but we always been very normal.
Do you feel competitive about the dances? Is there an element of competition even now?
No, not really. She's a great dancer. She has her own style, and it's not fair to compare.
So who's the better dancer? Who's the better dancer according to you?
Oh, but well, how can I answer this question? You have to ask the audience.
No, in your own
The
estimation, the way you see it. Do you think you're because both of you had this USP, of being fabulous dancers.
Well, that you have to ask others.
Okay, so let me then turn that
And
question on its head.
she's,
Yes, please go on.
What?
No, I'm saying,
Sorry.
let me then ask you, amongst the current crop of dancers, ma'am, who do you think is the best? Is there anyone you think, okay, this one is the best Albaz, or she's got the best moves now?
Sonakshi is a best dancer. She's got grace and outstanding, and of course Deepika Padukone and Priyanka Chopra. Wow, she's something absolutely. She's stunning, and there are so many.
All right, Sridevi and Gauri Shinde for joining us for a special discussion. Thank you very much. Wish you all the best with this big comeback venture. It's a comeback for one and it's a directorial debut for the other. Big moment for the both of you. For joining us with your thoughts. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Thank you.